I am said to be a specialist when it comes to games and gaming culture, and the connection to, I'd like to call it the world beyond, which sort of sounds a bit outlandish, but at the same time it is sort of true, because when we are talking about games, we are mostly talking about a separate culture. We are talking about a very specific culture that is sort of, it is kind of exclusive, because it has been put aside for about a generation. If we are talking about sports, we can also talk about a million different things. And even though some people are more into, I don't know, one-on-one games, like a fighting game or stuff like that, they are still participating in that culture that is called esports. There's no real restrictions to what esports actually is, and it's a pretty open concept. And we can also have a look at other stuff that is sort of on the fringe of esports that might be interesting as well. Stuff like speedrunning, for example, or more outlandish esports. Chess is said to be the latest esports. I'm not sure about that. You could say so, because it works well in the digital world, and it uses all the means that are used in esports as well, like Twitch streams and stuff like that. Sports is organized, and esports is actually also organized. If you have a look at that definition here, it talks about leagues, competitive circuits, tournaments, and similar competition. So esports is actually when you participate in competition, organized competition. But at the same time, I wouldn't be that strict. You are at least part of the games or part of the gaming community with the games that are used for esports. So you sort of, even if you play in a more relaxed manner, you probably stumble over the whole esports topic and people doing esports, because I guess there's not servers for casual people, and then there's servers for esports people. Of course, there's a separate field. There are specific servers and leagues and so on. But beyond that, if I play Rocket League, for example, and I play a ranked game, of course I will meet people who are into esports and who are actually training to participate. So it's a bit tough to differentiate that, but at the same time I totally agree. It's just like kicking the ball around, so to say. It's the same games, but it's a different attitude. On the others, I'd say that on the other hand, there's also something that is pretty e-sporty, but at the same time it's not really esports, because I'd say that you have a number of games that are obviously esports, and there are a few more that are sort of fringe esports. They don't have that much of an audience maybe, but beyond that there's more that could also be considered competitive gaming, or there are tournaments or even world championships. I don't know if you have heard of Excel esports, for example. The spreadsheet program used as a tool for esports, for competitive, I don't know if it's called gaming, but for competition. And you might be surprised, but that's actually, it's not that rare. And there's actually quite a lot of money in it, to be honest. It's the same with other games. There's a farming simulator league, for example, and they consider themselves esports. And they actually have quite a big circuit, and they are actually also well sponsored, because it's the farming simulator. So all of the, not all of them, but some of the major companies who are sort of providing farming machines, for example, they sponsor that league. I don't know if you consider bringing the farming simulator to your esports program. It might be interesting, but it's probably not your first choice, because there are, I don't know, let's call it the Big Ten or something, games that everyone knows they are esports, like League of Legends, like Counter-Strike, like Fortnite maybe as well, but stuff like Overwatch or Valorant that are considered mainly mainstream esports titles.